Welcome to the F-Bound Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Schroeder, Executive Function Coach. I help neurodivergent women learn tips and strategies to improve the life skills that will help them be successful. Time blocking techniques. Optimize your schedule. When you're working on improving your time management, you need to understand and implement valuable techniques. Time blocking techniques can be an effective way for neurodivergent people who struggle with executive dysfunction to optimize their schedules. Time blocking involves scheduling specific blocks of time for different tasks and activities. It helps you allocate your time and attention effectively, reducing overwhelm and increasing focus. In this article, we'll explore various time blocking techniques specifically tailored to support neurodiversity to help you gain control over your schedule and improve your productivity. The traditional approach to time blocking. The traditional time blocking technique involves dividing your day into fixed time intervals and assigning specific tasks to each block. You've probably seen a planner with hourly blocks of time scheduling. This structured approach helps create a sense of order and clarity. Pros of traditional time blocking. Structure and clarity. The structured nature of traditional time blocking provides a clear roadmap for the day, reducing decision paralysis and increasing predictability. This can be particularly helpful for neurodivergent people who thrive with routines and clear expectations. Task prioritization. By assigning specific tasks to each block, you can prioritize important responsibilities to make sure they receive an appropriate amount of attention. This helps in avoiding procrastination and staying focused on essential tasks. Time management and productivity. Traditional time blocking encourages efficient time management by allocating specific time slots to each task. This can enhance productivity and create a sense of accomplishment as you complete scheduled activities. Cons of traditional time blocking. Rigidity and inflexibility. The fixed nature of traditional time blocking isn't for everyone, especially for those who prefer more flexibility in their schedule. Neurodivergent people who thrive on spontaneity or struggle with transitions may find it challenging to adhere to strictly pre-assigned time blocks. My daughter feels anxious every time she looks at my planner because I have hourly time blocks because I need to have a lot of structure in order to get everything done. Even if she has the same amount of work, seeing numbers for each hour of the day stresses her out. Overwhelm with transitions. Some people may find it overwhelming to switch abruptly from one task to another at the end of each time block. This can disrupt focus and cause difficulty in transitioning smoothly between activities. This is especially frustrating for people who are in the middle of hyper-focusing on a task. Difficulty with adherence. Executive dysfunction can make it challenging to adhere to pre-planned schedules. It's part of the reason you're reading my stuff. Executive dysfunction can negatively impact many areas of your life. Distractions, sensory issues, or fluctuating energy levels may result in deviations from the set time blocks, leading to frustration and self-criticism. Tips for making traditional time blocking work. Incorporate transition buffers. Allow for transition periods between time blocks to provide a buffer for winding down one task and preparing for the next. This buffer time can help ease the transition and reduce overwhelm. Build in flexibility. While adhering to a structured schedule is important, allow for flexibility within each time block. If necessary, adjust the duration or order of tasks to accommodate unexpected events or changes in focus. In other words, choose time blocks that work best with your level of energy and focus. Prioritize self-care. Ensure that self-care activities, breaks, and downtime are included within the time blocks. Making self-care a priority helps maintain well-being and prevents burnout, which is especially crucial for neurodivergent individuals. By considering these pros, cons, and tips, neurodivergent people can utilize the traditional time blocking technique effectively and tailor it to their unique needs. Remember, the goal is to create a system that works for you and supports your executive functioning. So if the traditional method isn't for you, keep reading. The flexible time blocking technique. For people who thrive on flexibility, the traditional approach is probably too rigid. The flexible time blocking technique allows for more adaptability. Instead of assigning specific tasks to each block, you allocate blocks of time for broader categories or priorities. This method provides the freedom to choose tasks within those categories based on your energy levels, motivation, or immediate needs. Implementing flexible time blocking. Identify categories or priorities. Begin by identifying the key categories or priorities in your life. These may include work-related tasks, personal commitments, self-care activities, learning, or hobbies. Consider what areas require dedicated time and attention in your daily or weekly schedule. Allocate blocks of time for categories. Assign specific blocks of time to each category or priority. For example, you might designate a morning block for work-related tasks, an afternoon block for personal activities, and an evening block for self-care or relaxation. This allows you the flexibility to set time blocks during your peak times for focus and energy. Choose tasks within each block. Within each time block, select tasks or activities based on your energy levels, motivation, or immediate needs. Instead of rigidly adhering to a predetermined task list, use the flexibility of the time block to choose the most appropriate task within that category. Use visual cues and reminders. Use visual cues such as color-coded labels or icons to differentiate between different categories or priorities. This helps create a visual representation of your flexible time blocking system and gives you a quick overview of your schedule. It can also help you keep your schedule because it's easy to see when it's time to switch tasks. Prioritize transitions and breaks. When implementing flexible time blocking, pay attention to the transitions between different categories or tasks. Allow for transition periods and incorporate breaks to prevent overwhelm and support a smooth flow between activities. By implementing the flexible time blocking technique, neurodivergent people can leverage the benefits of adaptability and customization to create a schedule that aligns with their unique needs while promoting productivity. The Power Hour technique. The Power Hour technique involves setting aside a dedicated hour for intense, focused work on a single task or project. This technique leverages the concept of deep work, where you eliminate distractions and immerse yourself in a state of flow. By dedicating a power hour to important tasks, you can make significant progress and achieve a sense of accomplishment. For people who tend to hyper-focus and they know getting in that zone is super productive for them, this technique can really hone those skills. Tips for implementing the Power Hour technique. Choose a task wisely. Select a task that requires intense focus and concentration, ideally something that has a significant impact on your goals. It could be a challenging work project, a creative endeavor, or a complex problem that needs solving. The key here is that you choose something intentionally instead of just letting your interest drive your focus. Minimize distractions. Create a conducive environment by eliminating potential distractions. Turn off notifications on your devices, find a quiet and comfortable workspace, and inform others of your intention to focus during this hour to minimize interruptions. Remember, you decide what is distracting. For some people, music helps them maintain focus. If that's you, play music. Your space doesn't have to be silent. Set a timer. Use a timer or productivity app to mark the duration of your power hour. Set it for a specific time, typically 60 minutes, and commit to dedicating your undivided attention to the task until the timer goes off. Unless your hyperfocus immediately kicks in, you might have to be mindful of the task and redirect yourself if your mind starts to wander. But once your focus kicks in, follow the timer. Establish rituals or cues. Develop rituals or cues to signal the start of your power hour. It could be lighting a candle, playing a specific piece of music, or performing a brief mindfulness exercise. These rituals create a mental trigger that helps you transition into a focused mindset. It might seem silly, but cues are an excellent way to prime your brain to know what to expect. For every novel I write, I create a playlist. When I'm in the planning stages, I listen to the playlist constantly, much to my children's dismay. Then, as I start writing, which usually happens in sprints, as soon as I hear that music, I'm in the story. Practice self-care during breaks. After completing a power hour, take a short break to recharge and rest. Engage in self-care activities that help you relax, recharge your energy, and prepare for the next power hour session. At first, it might be hard to step away, especially because you're in the zone and want to keep going, but going nonstop will lead to burnout. Gradually increase duration. If an hour feels too long initially, start with shorter intervals and gradually increase the duration of your power hour as you build your focus and concentration skills. By incorporating the power hour technique into their productivity strategies, neurodivergent people can harness their strengths like hyperfocus to achieve a deep level of engagement and accomplishment in their work. Theme-based time blocking method. The theme-based time blocking method involves assigning specific themes or areas of focus to each day or time block. I usually refer to this as batching. It's when you group similar tasks together. For example, you might designate Mondays for administrative tasks, Tuesdays for meetings and collaborations, Wednesdays for creative work, and so on. This technique helps you streamline your workflow, maintain a balanced schedule, and create work-life balance. This method is very similar to flexible time blocking, but instead of having a variety of tasks, you group similar tasks more closely than a broad subject. Tips for implementing theme-based time blocking. Identify relevant themes. Reflect on the different areas of your life or work that you want to prioritize. These can include professional responsibilities, personal development, self-care, relationships, hobbies, or learning. Much like flexible. Choose the themes that align with your goals and interests. Allocate time blocks to themes. Assign specific time blocks in your schedule for each theme. For example, I group marketing tasks together in a block, which is different from my blog writing block, which is different from my novel writing block, etc. Focus on themed tasks. Within each theme, you focus on getting as many of those tasks completed as possible, making sure to prioritize the most important ones first. Benefits of theme-based time blocking. Reduced cognitive load. Neurodivergent people often experience cognitive overload due to the demands of multiple tasks and responsibilities. Theme-based time blocking reduces cognitive load by grouping similar tasks. It gives you a clear plan forward. Improve transitions and context switching. Transitioning between unrelated tasks can be challenging for neurodivergent people, which makes them less efficient. Because tasks are grouped by theme, there's less switching between types of tasks. Increased motivation and engagement. Theme time blocking works for neurodivergent people because it feeds their hyperfocus and passion. Dedicating time blocks to themes allows them to work on activities they find meaningful and enjoyable. This can lead to increased productivity. By implementing the theme-based time blocking method, you can organize your schedule around broader themes, which will reduce cognitive load, increase motivation, and reduce wasted time. The reverse time blocking strategy. In the reverse time blocking strategy, you start off blocking off the time you want to allocate for breaks, self-care, and personal activities. You know, the fun stuff, the things that give you the dopamine hits you need to keep you going. Once those blocks are in place, you fill in the remaining available time with work-related tasks and responsibility. This strategy ensures that self-care and personal needs are prioritized, preventing burnout and promoting overall well-being. So if self-care is always the last thing on your priority list, and often forgotten about, this might be the method for you. Tips for implementing reverse time blocking. Identify self-care activities. Decide on the self-care activities that you need to improve your well-being. These may include mindfulness exercises, physical exercise, hobbies, journaling, or simply having a leisurely breakfast. Choose activities that help you recharge, relax, and set a positive tone for the day. Allocate dedicated time for self-care. Reserve a specific portion of the morning or early part of the day for these activities. This ensures that you have ample time to engage in activities that promote well-being before moving on to other tasks. Putting self-care first will ensure that it's not forgotten about or pushed off to the to-do list. Create boundaries and protect self-care time. Set clear boundaries around your self-care time and protect it as you would any other important commitment. Communicate your needs and expectations to others and decline any requests or interruptions that may encroach on this dedicated time. If you don't have a problem telling your kids you can't do something because you have to go to work, then you shouldn't have a problem telling a colleague that you can't do a task because you're busy. Benefits of reverse time blocking. Enhanced self-care and well-being. Neurodivergent people often need dedicated time for self-care activities to manage their sensory needs and emotional and mental health. By prioritizing self-care at the beginning of the day, the reverse time blocking strategy ensures that these activities actually happen. Reduced anxiety and overwhelm. Starting the day with personal activities and self-care can help you ease into your day in a calm and relaxed state. By addressing your own needs first, you can reduce anxiety and overwhelm before getting started on work-related responsibilities. Optimal energy and focus allocation. Reserving the early part of the day for self-care allows you to replenish your energy and use your peak energy and focus times to do tasks that require them the most. Prevention of burnout and fatigue. Managing neurodiversity in a neurotypical world is exhausting and can easily lead to burnout. The reverse time blocking strategy helps prevent burnout by ensuring that rest and rejuvenation are prioritized. If you've struggled with burnout or maintaining self-care in the past, reverse time blocking might be the best method for you to avoid more burnout and increase your overall productivity and efficiency. Time blocking techniques can be life-saving for neurodivergent people who struggle with executive dysfunction. By implementing these strategies, you can gain control over your schedule, increase productivity, and become more efficient. Finding the right tools and methods is vital to achieving success as a neurodivergent person trying to improve their productivity without increasing stress and overwhelm. Experiment and explore until you find the methods that click with you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the F-Bomb Podcast. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe below and check out my show notes to learn more about my Facebook group, courses, and membership.